my honeymoon. And when I say epic, back from my epic honeymoon, I really mean it. Okay, we spent a whole month abroad and did so many of my bucket lists of my dream trips, dream aspiration. And I'm telling you, epic honeymoon, okay? We're talking Maldives. We're talking about brand new cruise ship, mini suite, okay? Flying first class, flying business class, like the best business class, the best first class, all that good stuff. It would have cost us $61,000, 61,000 USD. And we spent $8,000. How? Using points and miles and comps. More on that. So first, we flew Qatar Q Suites. We flew from SFO to Mali with Qatar. Qatar Q Suites, okay? The king of business class. Yeah, we flew that bad boy. Booked it with 85,000 points per person, one way. And so it cost us 170K total of points. I didn't spend 170K points. Mind you, there was a British Airways transfer offer when I booked. So it was a lot less than that. It was probably like 140-ish, but we can just say 170 because I don't remember. I planned this so long ago, you wouldn't even know. Qatar Q Suites, 170,000 points for 2 people, and we paid $405 in fees. It was an $8,000 value. We flew Qatar Q Suites from SFO to Doha, and then from Doha to the Maldives, we flew in first class for the same amount of points that it costs to freaking fly in business class. It was just like an option. Like literally, it was just like I clicked it. Like it was free. I could have sat in business or first. It's the same amount of points. It was 85,000 points per person. And we flew first class on the second leg to the Maldives. And mind you, the freaking layover, we got to experience, I don't know if it's one or I'm pretty sure it's the best. It's the best first class lounge in the world. The best first class lounge, Safwa first. Amazing. And they even give you your own room. You can even just book for free, complimentary, your own room to stay at if you have like, a 5-hour later, honestly, any. So you can just take a nap and sleep. And it comes with a bathroom and shower. It's just amazing, crazy. I cannot stop talking about it. And then we arrived at Conrad, Rangali in the Maldives paradise. First time in the Maldives, first time everything. Okay, Conrad, Rangali. Spent 5 nights there because you're part of the program. It's stay 4 nights, get 1 night free. So basically for 5 nights, you pay for 4 nights. 120,000 points per night times 4, 480,000 points. Technically only costed us 185,000 of Amex points. And the cash value for that was roughly about 8,000 because we were peak season. It was March, peak season. So it was a roughly-ish 1,500 give and take per night. I would say 1,300 to 1,500 per night for the overwater bungalow. And if you didn't know, if you go to the Maldives, you're gonna have to deal with the seaplanes. It's a really cool experience, but it's roughly about $600 to $700 per person for the seaplane ride. And that's round trip. That's an international flight. But honestly, landing in the water, it's pretty cool. It's not the best ride, granted, but you're in paradise. And it was worth it for our honeymoon. And then we went to Alilah, Kothaifaru, Maldives. Put that on the screen. Ain't nobody know how to pronounce it. We booked the beach villa because they didn't have an option for the overwater bungalow. We booked the beach villa for 155,000 points total for 5 nights, which is super reasonable. And we transferred from Chase to Hyatt. The seaplane was $655 per person. Ouch. But, you are in the Maldives. This is the tax you're gonna pay to be in paradise. We did upgrade the last 2 nights at Alilah to an overwater bungalow for $500, so it's $250 a night. Super reasonable. So we were celebrating our honeymoon, but granted, March is my birthday month. What a coincidence. And my birthday is March 16th, and I did not plan it to a T, but I kind of did plan it a little bit. And it happens to be that if we're spending 10 nights in the Maldives, we ended it like the next day that we were flying out was my birthday. So this is the first year I spent my birthday in the sky, in style. So we flew Emirates first class from Maldives to Brussels. I kid you not, I didn't care where I was going. I really wanted to see that flight. Obviously, I cared about the destination. I was trying to go somewhere new that I haven't been. And Brussels was one of those routes. And so we did Maldives to Brussels in first class to experience the Emirates game changer. Supposedly one of the best first class in the sky. I had a seat for myself. And these seats, mind you, are worth like $10,000 per person. Definitely not in my tax bracket, but miles and points made it possible. We spent 2 nights in Brussels, had a cute Airbnb. From Brussels, we flew to Rome just so we can catch the cruise. And let me tell you about this cruise. On the Sunprincess, it's a brand new ship. We were on the second sailing, so technically still inaugural, or so they say. Now this cruise was comped because we were their target casino players or whatever. Did we gamble much? But let me tell you, this was the first time ever we were in a mini suite. It gave us an interior, which is about a $5,000 value. So granted, we could have just stayed with the interior, but I'm like, honeymoon, maybe I want to see the ocean a little bit, you know? Balcony was like $3,000 more, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying $3,000 more. And I was like, how much is the ocean view? And they're like $800 more. I'm like, fine, give me the ocean view. And so we upgraded to ocean view. And then something happened. We were supposed to bid. Cruise lines have this bid, like you bid for high, upgraded rooms, right? And we placed our bids on balcony. We placed our bids on mini suite. Who would have thunk? I put a $300 bid, a $300 bid, ocean view to mini suite. I put a $300 bid on it. That's $300 per person, so it's total $600. And it went through. We were notified like 2 weeks ahead. We were approved for a mini suite. And I was like, holy mother fricker. A mini suite on a brand new ship? Holy cow. And I'm like, it's like the gods knew that it was our honeymoon. It's like they knew. So the cruise, it was a Mediterranean cruise from Rome, going around the Med for 10 nights, $5,000 value for an interior. The mini suite is worth $10,000. If you were to book it, it's $10,000 for the entire cabin. And then after the cruise, we flew from Rome to London. And then we stayed 5 nights in the beautiful London. And if anybody ever told you, because I didn't know, London is fucking expensive. I didn't know that. I didn't know I was going to be paying New York prices, but we were paying you New York prices. Originally, we were staying at an Airbnb. It cost us about $1,500 for 5 nights, so like roughly $300 a night. Then guess what? Our Airbnb got canceled because of X, Y, and Z. I have no idea. The host messaged us, offered us another property, and it wasn't as nice. And so I was like, hey, why don't we just save the $1,500 and just book Hyatt with points? Any place that we stay at, we try to use Airbnb because we like having a full kitchen. We like being in the center. We like being local. We like having to go to the grocery store and all that stuff. If it's a shorter stay than 5 nights, like 3 or maybe 4, we'd be totally okay with the hotel. But like anytime, honestly, I love Airbnb. I love having a kitchen. Love having everything like in your own space. Yeah, we stayed at Hyatt Friars for 129,000 points for 5 nights total. That is a lot of points. If you've noticed, the Alilah Maldives was 155 and this Hyatt in London was 100, almost 130. It's almost the cost of the Maldives. Wild. But we're like trying to save money, so I'm like, The redemption value wasn't that crazy, but it's what it is. Didn't want to pay cash. Mind you though, this was for the club access room. I shouldn't have paid for it. We barely used it. Club access just means you have a high floor, free breakfast, and then free happy hour. Generally, those 3 things. And we didn't utilize that. And I think I would have gotten the high floor with my Hyatt status anyways. So kind of wasted 25,000 points, which is like $500, but we didn't use. Let me tell y'all, the reason we were even in London in the first place. Yes, you guessed it. So we could freaking fly the new British Airways Club Suites. If you haven't noticed, the theme of this entire honeymoon was aspiration, especially flights. Aspiration flights and the Maldives. Like those were the 2 main things. They swapped crafts on me, and if I freaking knew it wasn't the Club Suites, I wouldn't have flown British Airways business. British Airways business is not worth my points. No, the product is poo-poo. I'm so sorry. Who the hell designed this cabin? Who the fuck was smoking crack while designing this? Like, why would I want to step over people and stare at people if I had to pay for business class. Even though I didn't really pay for it, but still, you get my point. Like, I would have just flown Air France, flew to Paris. So our destination was really dictated by the routes and the flights that I wanted to get on. I know it sounds crazy, but it's my dream. I don't know why I didn't check. I should have checked. Learning lesson, always check your flights because they can change and they will change. Sometimes they will swap aircrafts on you. They will not tell you. But overall, what an epic honeymoon. Crazy epic honeymoon. So to sum it up, our 1 month honeymoon, we spent $8,346 on bookings and everything, not including spending money, and what it was actually worth, $61,588. A $61,000 honeymoon. My first 1 million point redemption. It costed us a little bit over 1 million points. An incredible honeymoon. It took a lot of stuff to rack them up, but freaking crazy. Never in my wildest dreams would I think that I would be sitting in first class. Hell, that I would be sitting in business class, period. And I'm like, wow. Even when we're in the Maldives, I'm like, wow. These people are not in my tax bracket. Don't act poor. His cooked well, indeed. But yeah, we had a blast. We were eating caviar, drinking champagne, living like kings. My husband had the time of his life and he was a big kid this entire time. I don't want to say that it's my last time in the Maldives, for sure. We're gonna make it happen again. But this goes to show you that you don't need to have a shit ton just flying business class, right? Just flying that, like those redemptions and stuff, things that you don't realize, the travel hacking, have what, putting gas card, opening, there's so many strategies, right? On how to accumulate all these points, with welcome and sign up bonuses being the highest. When it comes to this game, it's so addicting when you feel like, oh my God, when you finally redeem it, right? Is what the moment you're like, all your hard work and like you're just geeking out and you're on this freaking flight, and you're just geeking the hell out. You're like, oh my God, not supposed to be here. Who let me on the plane? But you're like, oh shit, I'm here. It's like, had my 18-year-old self look at, me on this flight, like, no, not even my 18-year-old, myself right now, like looking at myself on the flight, like, who the fuck do you think you are? That's not you. Who the hell let you on? It was an incredible freaking trip. All the bucket lists, so many bucket lists crossed off, like aspirational flights. It was phenomenal. And the crew on these flights were phenomenal. Not all of them. More detail on that. So, remember, someone tells you points don't matter, you tell them that it does. Because how else am I supposed to book this for cash? Crazy. Even if I had it, like, you're like, God damn, that's a big splurge. That's crazy. Mama, we made it. And now we eat ramen for a month. Instant ramen.